All right, we are back, and Lafdul, you've had some time to think about how to approach the Minotaur vessel, if you indeed still want to do so.
He's not too keen on going to the Minotaur vessel anymore.
That's fine.
I can't think of a scenario on that short time frame. I'm just going to go to the other tavern that I hadn't been to,
Okay.
and just to do some general inquiries to various sailors. Just try and talk, learn rumors, and
Also get some liquid courage.
no, Lafdul's not getting drunk. It's kind of customary. You do kind of have to buy. Well, you don't have to. But can I come up with anything? My herbalism that could slow down, similar to what Finnel'ar did. He would have told us about this, surely. I assume. Did you tell us about what you did?
I might have shared it with anyone interested.
Yeah, Laughter would be interested.
Was that a specific thing that you had from one of the Druid recipe things from the Druid handbook, or was that something else? No, it wasn't.
No, that was just something I came up with.
Okay, because I couldn't remember for sure. Lafdul, give me an herbalism, but there's gonna be a penalty to the check.
Can I use Call Upon Faith on it?
No.
No?
No, because this is going to be more along the lines of, do you have the right ingredients? Do you have the right ability to prepare it right now? That's more what's going on here.
No. I can't. Nope. That's so far.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked anyway. All right, so no, you just don't have the proper ingredients, facilities, time, whatever, to do this right now.
I know drinking lots of water helps with alcohol. Generally, that's common knowledge. Whether or not they'd have access, well, they should do.
There is a well here, and there is the harbor water, but you have no idea how good that water is.
No, I've got my own water skin.
Okay.
For the water. Problem is, I'm going to need to use the bathroom at some point, probably, in-game.
That said, you can easily just go step outside of town and relieve yourself if you needed to. All right, so you make your way to the other tavern. This one is.
I would have drank some water, so
Okay.
attempt to dilute it a bit.
All right. So you're making your way towards the other tavern. You'd passed it on the way to the docks. This one has a sign hanging above the door of a large black dog growling, and it is named appropriately the Black Dog.
Mm-hmm.
However, on your way, a pair of minotaurs in armor stop you.
Yeah, hello?
Haven't seen you around.
Yeah, I'm
Who
new
are
in town. What's my name? Daryl Strongarm.
What are you doing here?
Looking to get another ship to Njord or to Thaldar? Whatever ship comes into port. I haven't found one so far. I haven't asked the Bloodseed, but the Damselfly's not going there. The Grey Dancer's not going there.
What ship did you arrive on?
I'm going to say. Actually, what was thingy ship? That eel ship, Sard ship. I'm going to name that ship. He was on an eel ship. I'm trying to think of the name. Oh, do I have it on my character sheet? That's a problem. Oh, Lafdul says, it was the Neil ship. Sard Bloodstone was the captain. I'm trying to think of the name of the ship. What was that ship's name? I just booked passage, yeah.
The other one grunts. A Stormer. Well, he must have been hiding under a rock. Haven't seen you around here for the last week. Didn't know he took passengers. All right.
Well, if you give him a few coinies, he'll accommodate you.
All right, move on, human.
I move on.
They definitely look at you suspiciously as they leave.
Good thing I thought of that shit. I was going to say the singing sword, but I was like, that might be stretching it. I know Sard. Well, I recently learned that Sard did. What was the name of his ship? Do I not know that? I'm checking my
I'm not sure. I don't remember if I gave you that or not.
I knew it was on the new ship. But yeah, I am heading my way to the tavern as I look at my notes.
I mean, if anyone else has that written down, they can pipe up. That's fine. Because again, if Lafdul heard it, he probably would remember that. All right. So you get out front of the Black Dog just as a couple of very drunk sailors come out, one a human, one a minotaur, and they are singing together a very, very off-key bawdy song about a sailor stranded on a lone asteroid with a bevy of star selkies.
Yeah, get out sea shanties. Lafdul goes in, tries to find a group that are playing some games, ask if there's room for another.
All right, so you enter, kind of get a quick survey of the tavern. There is a young woman on a table who is dancing and singing some bawdy songs. In fact, the one that the two sailors drunkenly were singing as they were walking out. She's continuing that one. It's kind of like 99 bottles of beer on the wall, where there's just a verse that counts down, kind of thing over time.
Oh God. You're going to be singing that all the way back home.
Maybe. There's quite a few sailors around there. This one has more people. You'd say that there's actually about 30 people in this one at this time. Quite a few of them are minotaurs.
Yeah.
You do see at least two games going on. One is a card game and one is a dice game. The card game, you do not recognize the cards from your quick glance, but dice are dice. And you see a pair of Minotaur barmaids bringing out drinks, and there is a Minotaur behind the counter, who is, you'd guess, the proprietor.
I go over to the guys who are playing dice and I ask if they got room for another. What's the wages? Can I observe what wages are?
Do you want to observe the wages before you go up?
Yeah, if they're not shooing people off from watching.
Yeah, they're wagering bronze pieces.
Can Lafdul's ring actually fiddle dice games?
It's very obvious.
Very obvious.
I literally stick my hand out, point at the die.
Okay.
I don't think Old's allowed me to be sus of that ring.
No.
It's not like I poke my finger out of my cloak and I point to the die and it slowly rotates.
Would it not work when you roll the dice? Because you've got to hold your hand to roll dice.
No. Again, it's very obvious.
That would be complex.
Fair enough.
I thought it was invisible and I did it. Oh, no.
But then you couldn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come back with someone else and you can make a fortune.
Oh, that's something I could do with a Thieves Guild. Back on get a rigged game on the go. Oh, why do these die always land on the 6?
All right, so they're wagering bronze pieces.
I need to get some more bronze. Can I? What kind of drinks do they have? Do they have any signs to say what they sell?
Not signs, but you could go up to the bar and ask what they have on tap, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking for like the most watered down drink I can find, like some kind of grog.
Okay. So you walk up to the bar, and a rather overweight Minotaur, who is the proprietor, comes over to you. What do you want? We got quite a few brews on hand, some fine Naraka ale and beer. Our best is a lager from the League. We've got some Blood Sea ale too, but it's I wouldn't recommend it for your constitution.
Not in the blood. Whatever I think is the weakest drink is.
Give me an intelligence check. If you pass it, you'll know. If you don't pass it, you won't know, and you'll just have to choose yourself.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Not obviously that ale. Did he mention another ale?
Sorry,
what was the drink? Sorry.
So there were the two Naraka ones that you were mentioned at the previous tavern. So you've had one of those. You know what that is.
Yeah, I'll have that again.
Okay.
I guess. What was that? A couple of copper? Can't remember.
Yeah. It'll be 2 copper.
Thanks. Could you change a couple of iron to some bronze? I'm looking to get a game in with the lads over there.
I can do that. How much you want?
I just changed like 3 iron. How much bronze is that?
Do you have enough iron for that?
I got 4 iron. Actually, could I do a couple of steel? A couple of steel's worth of bronze.
Okay, 2 steel?
If he's willing, yeah.
Okay. So that is 20 bronze pieces that you get.
22 bronze. And I'll give him a bronze as a thank you. It's fine for the transfer.
Thank you much. Just flag down one of the wenches if you're wanting a meal of some sort. We got a good roast. We got some stew, and we have a nice squirrel meat pie if you want that.
Squirrel? Have I seen squirrels?
Yes, there are large omnivorous squirrels on this planet. They appear to be the lowest of the on the food chain, other than the moss and plants.
No,
This is when the rest of us get attacked by carnivorous squirrels.
I wouldn't say moss is lowest on the food chain, since Lafdul seems to be even lower.
Oh, which sorry, I did want to mention this. When you went unconscious, and this is something that I haven't been doing because I keep forgetting it when it comes up. When spellcasters go unconscious, their spells are wiped. I'm not retconning this. I'm not retconning this, but that's something that's supposed to happen. Yeah. Yeah, you lose all your memory spells.
Where does it say that? I believe you. It's just where does it say?
It's the hovering on death's door rule in probably the DMG.
Oh, that's yeah.
It's supposed to be bad when you get knocked unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Extra
dead
bad
if you
for
don't get magical
spellcasters.
healing.
Yeah. Now, specifically, that's knocked unconscious by going below 0 hit points, not knocked unconscious because of a spell specifically knocks you unconscious. So, or 0 or below, I should say. So, thank you for reminding me. Like I said, I'm not retconning that, though. You would have had plenty of time to get that back, but it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Yeah.
So you go up to the dice game?
Yeah, ask them if they got another slot on the seat. Can I have a vague idea of how much bronze they are wagering?
Each one is generally like just a bronze piece kind of thing, like the ante up a bronze piece kind of thing. It's not high stakes. It's clearly
good.
more for fun.
Yeah, I've got plenty of money, but I'm not trying to show that I've got plenty of money, so... It's just that I'm specifically seeing if there's any conversation, any rumors on the red news. I'll mention the Emerald Oak Leaf. I'm just trying to stir up conversations.
All right, so They look you up and down, and one of the Minotaurs grunts and shifts himself over so you can drag a chair over.
Sit myself down.
They definitely appear to be not the friendliest bunch right now.
Oh, it depends how much money they take off me, and they'll be a lot more friendlier.
Now, you do not have the gaming proficiency, correct?
No.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to lose mode, but that's fine. I'm trading bronze pieces for information, hopefully.
All right.
So Lafdul will be a good spirit. Do you want a drink? Lafdul says. So whoever wants one, I guess. I guess everyone will want one. How many people have I just offered a drink to?
There's 4 people in the game, besides
Oh,
you.
yeah, I'd say that. Ask them if
Do you want to
drink,
ask them
I'll
if
buy.
they want a drink, or are you just going to say,
Yeah, no.
flag someone down
do you-
and say, hey, get around for all my friends here, kind of thing?
No, I say, do you want a round? I'll buy.
Yeah, sure, we'll take a drink. He flags down, that Minotaur flags down one of the serving Minotaur girls and says specifically, he's buying us all a drink.
Yeah.
So they all get that league lager. I think it said it was a lager. I can't remember. So each of them gets one of those. You still have your drink with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not getting another one. I've got this one.
Right.
It's just I was just ingratiating myself by bribing them with drinks. All right. How much that run me?
So that will be 12 copper.
How much is that in bronze? Is that like
That's
2 bronze?
That's 1 bronze, 2 copper.
All right. 1 bronze, 2 copper. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll have to play some dice. Watch around if they'll let me first. If not, I'll join in, I guess.
You were able to watch around, getting, like coming in, getting up to the counter, buying your drink, that kind of thing. The rules, it's not a game that you're specifically familiar with, but it's also a dice game, so...
It's just a game of chance.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me... Let's see. Give me a d10, and each of them is rolling a d10. So they're playing with 10-sided dice.
And I'll just... that's either really good or really bad.
So there's you roll your 1, and each of the others rolls. One gets a 2, one gets a 7, and 2 of them get a 10. And they go, yeah, and they split the pot between the 2 of them.
All right, so 10's obviously high bear. All right,
So that's a bronze piece.
no, that's a bronze piece. So yeah, just try to listen what their conversation is. Maybe chime in with like rumors or something.
So a couple of them are talking about a raid they were on. There was a goblin porcupine that they came across. 2 of them are chuckling over how they slaughtered the goblins, the pitiful, weak goblins on board, took all their crummy cargo,
Booty.
which is in bad shape, and the other 2 are laughing along at the exploits of slaughtering these goblins.
See, this is one guy earned a nickname for Goblin Killer or something.
No.
You
You haven't heard their names yet. There's one other human in the group, and 3 of the others are Minotaurs, by the way.
Yeah, I'll just play a couple more rounds, then I will try and surreptitiously how do I want to work this? I'll see if I can get a feel for how people are reacting about Red Njord. So I'm going to say, have you heard about Red Njord attacking the ship that was mentioned by... Did Ockar tell us about the embassy? Not the embassy, about the Red Njord attacking a ship? Did he... Was it... Sorry, have I misheard?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I mean, Red Njord has attacked lots of ships, and he's believed to have attacked others.
This
Good old
Minotaur...
Czar.
Yeah, there's... Yeah, I suppose so.
You could say you heard
I heard rumors of it.
he came back from the dead or something.
Yeah, I'll put some embellishment on it. I guess not too much, but enough to. It's like, I heard this guy named Zara was dead. Apparently, he's not. Did he hire on or something? Any of you guys know?
Okay. Go ahead and give me another D10.
These rolls.
So you roll a 4, one gets a 1, one gets a 2, and 2 of them get an 8. And the one with the 1 this time, hey, yeah, and he takes a pot.
Oh, okay.
So then you see a lull in the conversation where they the ones talking about the goblin, they finished their story, and you bring up Azar. And so what were you saying? Were you gonna ask about it?
Hey, have you guys heard about this Zar fellow? Apparently, he survived. He's like returned from the dead. He was left out abandoned, and how he's returned back into the scene. Erd is quite the Minotaur, as Minotaurs go. He's quite handy with his weapon. Lafdul doesn't know what weapon he uses, so I just leave it as weapon.
Okay. So one of the Minotaurs just kind of grunts at you. However, one of the other ones does give a chuckle and say, "I always figured he was more one of us than not."
So
He signed on with that Red Njord fellow.
Yeah, those Red Njord fellow, they're new, aren't they? Like, been here a year or two?
Something like that. Go ahead and give me another D10.
Do I lose more copper? Bronze, I mean.
All right, so 2 of the others roll a 2 as well, and one rolls a 7, one rolls an 8, and one of the guys roll the 2 guys with the 2 go hey, and they start to roll dice again, whereas the other 2 aren't, and one of them nudges you, roll again.
Roll again. 4.
All right, so one of the other guys rolls a 4, and the other one rolls a 2, and the guy with the 4 goes, hey! And he takes half a pot, so you get you lose one bronze, and then you get 2 bronze and 5 copper back.
That's not so bad so far.
So how do you want to follow up that bit about Zar?
Yeah, I from ascertain that they kind of see him as an outcast, I assume. Was that the feeling I was getting, judging by that statement? I assumed that he was one of us, but he's not.
No. You would say that. So what you'd heard about him was that he was a mercenary. He was hired on to help protect a ship. The ship was attacked, believed lost. All hands killed, and then he'd shown up. There were rumors that he'd been seen since then. So that would be more like you would interpret the way that they said was that I always suspected he'd be a pirate or something like that. Like he's more like us than those who hire on to protect cargo ships and stuff like that.
Ah, right. So he's one of us all along. Suspect.
So how do you want to follow that up? Because you'd also asked about Red Njord. You could follow on to that.
Red Njord, how do I want to... I'll just see if I can... I'm just building up a general cacophony of conversation. I'm going to go on to about the... You guys heard about the Emerald Oak Leaf? Is it near the islands? What are those islands called?
The Stellar Islands?
Yeah, I think it was near the Star Islands, wasn't it?
No. About as far as you can. That was close to the sun, where you guys found it.
Oh, I vaguely mentioned. Apparently there were survivors. It's been about enough time to say that. Apparently there were survivors. I didn't think was it? Do I know if it was a strike? It was a strike, wasn't it?
No, it was Red Njord. It was Red Njord.
I thought Red Njord left everyone for dead, but apparently there were survivors.
All right, go ahead and give me a D10. All right, so you roll a 7. Someone gets an 8, a 9, and another one gets a 10, and the guy who gets a 1 goes, "Hey!" and he takes all of the all the coins.
It was me thinking I would get lucky with 7.
Okay, so I get it. So you either have to tie with somebody or roll a 1.
No, it's either high or low, depending on what I'll decide at the time.
I might be making up the rules as I go.
You probably bribe him with hams in order to win.
Hey,
can we pay hams to make him win the round?
No. In response to that, I mean, you can pay hams for the critical fumble so that he
We should
guarantees a
probably
loss.
use dice poker rules.
So, in response to your mention of that, the others are like, "Huh, I hadn't heard anything about that. Don't know that ship. What ship is that?"
It was a trader out of Hidako. It was was it Galleon? Hang on.
It was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a galleon out of Hidako. Can't remember if it was going to I can't remember where it was going. Was it going to Zivlin?
Well, it was going back to Hidukal from Reorx.
All right then. Yeah, I mentioned that, and yeah, there was 3 survivors that turned up at Hidako. A few days later, I heard this on Reorx.
Well, you seem to be quite in the know. I imagine that there's some ship captains out there who'd really like to know how you get your information.
Well, I'm looking to hire on.
Right, go ahead and roll a D10.
Well, I'd say I'm looking to hire on, but I'm also trying to get to New Haunt.
So there's some grumbling from the rest of the group as 3 of them roll a 5 and one of them rolls a 6, and you're kind of just staring at the thing, and the guy to your right nudges you and says, "Hey, you won."
Yeah! Lafdul takes the money.
So he
tries to fit in.
So you put in 1 bronze piece and you get 5 back. So
You know, this whole dice game is making...
This is going to end ugly for me.
It reminded me of a certain puzzle from Monkey Island 2, where the rules seem completely random.
They may be. Their rules may be completely random.
Oh, and you have to... I remember that. You have to...
This is a 1 and this is a 4, so what is this?
Yeah, that hand thing through the door.
It's not random. It's actually just misdirection.
So
it's still the one puzzle in that game I really don't like.
I love that. That was so weird.
All right,
We can all make up the rules for the game on Discord later.
Lafdul, so you say that you're looking to sign on.
Well, I say sign on or look for something. Well, I'm not on any ship at the moment.
All right. One of the Minotaurs grunts and says, "I should speak to the captain of Bloodsea's Bane. I'm sure he'd be interested. He'd be keen on knowing about where ships are going. If you seem to have good, quick knowledge of what's going on in the ports."
If you keep your head down into games like these, you learn a thing or two, and you win a few coins here or there.
The Minotaur to your right gives out
I
a belly laugh and smacks you on the back, which kind of hurts. You go kind of forward a bit from that smack.
Hey, I'm not entirely ungenerous. Do you want another round? Alpha gives him another round.
Another round of ale or lager or whatever
Yeah.
the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wave over the Minotaur barmaid again, and she comes back with some booze for everyone. So that was another 1 bronze, 2 copper.
And yeah.
All right. So where do you want to steer the conversation now?
I just ask, so you just waiting for another heist or what? I ask, well, look for another raid or what? I ask, the monitors, the Bloodsea. I assume you're with the Bloodsea.
All right, go ahead and roll D10. All right, so you rolled a 2, 1 gets a 3, 1 gets a 4, 1 gets a 5, and 1 gets a 10. And that guy with the 10 goes, "Hey!" and takes all the coins. And the Minotaur who mentioned speaking to the captain of the Bloodsea's Bane, he grunts and says, "We do whatever the captain says.
Is it just dried up right now? Or?
I think we're pushing off and taking some booty from our last haul at the Goblin.
Yeah.
Heading up to Thaldor."
Yeah, I've heard of Falda. I've never been there myself, though. It's Ziblin, isn't it? In a large rock somewhere? I'm just seeing if you'll give me a hint.
Yeah. It's a bit more rough and tumble in this place. Give me just a second to double check something. Yeah. Goblin goods will get a good price there. They've got lots of goblins, ogres, hobgoblins, this sort. Go ahead and roll a d10.
I am not going to pry how they get past the L1 because that's way too suspicious.
Okay. So you roll a 7, 1 gets an 8, 1 gets a 4, 1 gets a 10, and 1 gets a 1. The guy with the 1 crows out in happiness and takes the coin.
Another bronze down. 20 more left.
Alright, so how do you want to steer the conversation now?
I just tried to throw the conversation completely out the window, and I just mention about this herb that I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's just that I'm trying to distract, I just say it's a good purgative.
Alright, go ahead and give me a d10. Alright, you and another guy have rolled a 2 have rolled a 3, and 1 got a 9. The guy with the 9, he takes a coin. One of the Minotaurs says, "What, you mean it makes you puke up your food?"
Yeah, but...
Why would you want to do that?
Well, Captain wants you to sober up, ready, sharp, You gotta do what the captain says sometimes, and that definitely helps.
Get the same result by drinking more grog.
True, but it's more presentable, shall we say.
I think you're pulling my leg.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a d10. Okay, you got a 5. Another guy got a 5. There's a 6, there's a 9, and there's a 1. You and the guy with the 5 split the pot.
How much is that?
So it's another
2.
Yeah, two bronze, 5 copper. So the human pipes up and starts talking about. He's heard that he's heard from his captain, who you're guessing is the Great Answer. But he's heard that he mentions a name, and I don't think it's a name that you've heard. That Mei Ling has apparently put out a call for more cattle again.
Mei Ling?
Yeah, this doesn't mean much to you.
M-A-I?
M-E-I.
Yeah. Wait, was that captain I was speaking to? Was a guy, wasn't it? The Great Answer, the one I was speaking to. Oh, and obviously this Mei Ling was yeah.
You have no additional context. You have no additional context.
What, you're going to go to... Is it Hidako? That's the farming place, isn't it?
One of the Minotaurs gives a laugh at that and give me a D10.
Well, it's like a chime in, like, I guess you're going to Hidako.
You could ask who Mei Ling is.
I could.
So, the Minotaur gives a chuckle and says, she doesn't leave her home much, but it does mean that there might be some good cargo on the vessel going to take her that cattle. Something to keep an eye out. So you rolled a 4, someone rolled a 5, someone rolled a 9, an 8, and a 10. And the guy with the 10, he takes the pot.
Constantly having to update my money. What's going on?
I know. It's almost as if you're gambling it away.
I've probably drank all my ale at this point. I do want to part company. Obviously, I'm trying to learn what I can. Any of you guys played that card game over there? I'm gonna go over there see what that's about.
The human kind of. It's too complicated for me.
Well, it pays to learn about new things. I mean, it's how you learn stuff.
All right. So, one of the Minotaurs says, "I sure don't want to play some more. I see, you've got a few bronze pieces still there."
I put a couple of bronze pieces on the table. I was like, get ourselves a couple of drinks. Well, I put like 4, another round on, and I leave off. Wow, 4 bronze. Okay, I'm actually leaving quite a lot of money there.
Yeah.
I'd say 4 bronze.
Yeah.
I say, get yourself some drinks. I'm going over there.
As you're standing up, the Minotaur next to you smacks you on the back again, knocking the air out again. And he says, welcome to play with us anytime. You're good folk, and bring more bronze next time.
Hey, it's a lot of fun. Thanks for the games.
Right.
At least you're not spending all that steel now.
Yeah, Lafdul's downgraded in the world for the better. Oh dear.
All right, so you make your way over to the card game.
Yeah.
All right. They also appear to be betting bronze.
I ingratiate myself. Do you, I guess, want any drinks? I'm happy to buy if you teach me how the game works.
All right, so it's about, there's 6 people playing, and as you kind of come up and ask for an in, one of the people playing, who happens to be a dwarf, says, I'm about tapped out anyway. Take my place." He tosses down his cards and gets up to leave.
Nods, take his place.
Yep.
Is he just walking out, tavern? I guess.
Yeah, and he's a little bit wobbly. It's a little bit wobbly. So you take a seat, and a Minotaur who's dealing cards says, "So you know how to play this game?"
Nope, I'm fairly new at this. I'm always one for learning new games. If
Right.
you're
Give me a wisdom check.
me. Oh yeah. One stat I'm good at.
All right, you do
Okay.
notice out of the corner of your eye one of the other Minotaurs giving a kind of a devious grin. So
probably gonna shark me for money, probably.
So he says, "All right, well the buy-in is a bronze piece. You can only increase your bet by a bronze piece. In this hand, he rattles off 5 different cards that are wild.
Uh-huh.
And then he deals out 7 cards to each person. You pick them up. You have no idea what these symbols mean.
Sometimes you just have to have faith in chaos. That's my deity. I'm either gonna be laughed at horrendously or just be like shocked when I pull out miracles.
All right, so the guy to your left, he leads it off. He says, "I'll take 3 cards."
From the deck in the middle, I assume.
Well, no, so he puts down 3 cards, and the dealer deals him out three more cards.
So I pick up 3.
No, you're not. He is.
Oh, he's asking for. So
yeah, he is asking for 3 cards. He's discarded 3 cards, and he's getting 3 new ones.
Have I learned that there is a limit to a card? How many cards you're allowed to have in your hand?
No, you have not. Well, no,
I
you have
have
not.
asked for that. No.
No. But he did put down 3. He discarded 3 and got 3. So
yeah, safe assumption. Keep at least 7.
Yeah.
Can I tell if they're high value cards or low high or the other way around? Low value.
No.
Oh.
The pictures and everything don't mean anything to you.
Hmm.
There don't even appear to be numbers. So it goes around and finally comes back to you. Each of the.
They have him yacht. Are they just making this game up? Like literally, because I have no idea.
You watched a game go, and this is going the way the game before went, but you still have no idea what these cards mean.
And after I'll try the one on the far left, one on the far right, and one in the middle. Just random.
So you're getting rid of 3 and getting 3 back.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right.
When it comes to my turn, obviously.
All right. So, each of them is exchanging a different number of cards. One only takes 1. One gets 5, and another one gets 2, and that kind of thing. So it gets back to you, and you're discarding 3 and taking 3. And then the starts bets again, and everyone
Are they
puts in
talking
another
about anything?
bronze piece. They are chatting about things. One of them. So it seems like there was a conversation in progress that they picked back up on as you've sat down, and they appear to be talking about politics in a place called the League.
I'm not going to say, it's that Minotaur place, because that just get me whacked on the head.
So it gets back to you, and some of them have increased their bet, some of them have made no bet, and you have a choice of to bet or make no bet.
Sure, I will increase my bet by 1. So
Right,
another bronze.
Yep, put in another bronze piece.
Do I have to change my cards?
No, at this point there's no card change.
Alright, no, don't change my card.
Two of them have folded by the time it gets back to you. They're still talking about politics. Apparently, there's a rumor that there was an assassination attempt on the Emperor.
Yeah.
They're kind of speculating about who might have been involved. All of these names mean nothing to you.
Yeah,
So
it seems like I'm not going to get a conversation at them unless I steer the conversation myself.
So it gets back to you, and you've realized that this is the last opportunity to bet before showing cards.
No, I'm not increasing my bet.
Okay.
I'm just keeping eyes.
All right. So the rest have chosen to put in their bets, and the dealer says, "All right, show your cards."
I show my cards. I have no idea.
All right, go ahead and
After
give
has
me
faith in Erevan.
give me a D20.
Oh, what are these fives? 1, 2. How many fives do I rolled?
So a human is says, "Ah, yes," and he just like kind of pulls all the coins to him.
How much did
The
he win?
Minotaur that I'm not calculating that now.
Alright.
The Minotaur that had the evil grin, not the evil grin, the devious grin, kind of sniggers as you have put down your cards.
Yeah.
You would be reasonable to guess that you had absolutely nothing.
Yeah, probably. I'm in for another game.
All right.
That's fine. I just want to think of Can I? Did I learn what? No. I suppose I can ask if any of them have heard of. Did I learn anything about Ockar's cousins? Which
Define
one
have you
was-
learned about any of them? Because Ockar would tell you what he knew about them as a young man before they left.
Which one seemed like the most piratey one, other than Njord?
Again, they weren't really at that time. They were bullies.
Which one seems to be the second most bulliest one, I guess, if Njord was the leader of a ring?
Okay. So of those, Ockar would have told you. Let's see. So Blother was kind of the muscle of the group. He was the one who would, if someone was going to get beat up, it would usually be Blother that would do it.
Did they say? Did Ockar say if Blother was good with his fists, or if he used a weapon or anything at all? If he had an aptitude for anything?
Well, we were just teenagers, so I imagine at the time it was just with his fists.
For the most part, but
Yeah.
he did train
Yeah,
with
if
axes.
he had a big sticks.
He did train with axes.
Yeah, he did train with axes. So again, like Ockar's from a warrior culture. They all trained with weapons, various weapons.
Yeah.
Blother favored the axes in an actual weapon situation, but yeah, when bullying other kids, it would be fists.
Yeah, I'm just gonna casually mention. I heard this Blother from Red Njord. He's really good with axes. It's like there was this mask that was cut in half. I wonder if it was him. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, I do. I just like it's.
Anime physics. You throw the hand axe hard enough, it cuts the mask in half.
I'm just wondering, has he got like a magical axe? How on earth do you do that? How do you cut a mask in half?
All right. Let's see. How are they going to react to this?
There was an evil-looking Minotaur that had not an evil-looking.
Well, hold on.
Minotaur
Don't change the thing.
No, I'm not
you've already-
changing it.
You haven't given
It's-
them a chance. You haven't given them a chance to respond yet.
I'm Lafdul's thinking out loud.
They have to react to your screw up first.
It's not necessarily a screw up. It's just they have to react to what you said first. Otherwise, it's like you're just blabbering.
Yeah, Lafdul's a
I
bit
know. I was
bewildered.
just teasing him.
So, so Lafdul, after mentioning that, and you've gotten your cards and you're looking at them, and you put in your ante for the next round again.
Another bronze.
Yeah, another bronze. And one of the other minotaurs gives out a loud guffaw that actually like momentarily quiets the tavern as just people like look to see what's going on. And he says, "A human cutting a mast. That's a good one. See yourself as a jester, do you?"
Well, he might have had a magical axe. I don't know. Is there any truth to this story? That's just what I heard. It's probably poppycock, as quoting old.
I think that whoever told you that was pulling your leg.
Yeah,
And if you believed it, I can see why. So it's gotten back to you. You can choose how many cards you want.
I'm going to do 2 this time, because I've got no idea.
Okay.
Place
Give
2.
me a d20.
This is one of those times where the gaming proficiency would really help you.
It would.
Oh, yeah, it probably would.
It would. Yeah, so you have no idea. So you pull out 2 cards and get to 2, and then the betting starts.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you saying? What is your response to that? About the guy pulling your leg, and obviously that's why because you believed it.
Well, no, I say back on Reorgs, I mean, there was talk about there was survivors of the Emerald Oakleaf there, apparently, and they were just saying that their mast had been cut in half, and well, there's speculation that it was one of the humans. I mean, it could have been a Minotaur.
One of the humans says, "Survivors? That's unusual. Who was the attacker? Was that?"
That's Red Njord, apparently.
That's unusual.
I thought they were feral.
You thought they were what?
At least I assumed they were feral with their job. They've got a
thorough,
reputation. Sorry. Yeah. Lafdul's going with that,
All right, so you have a choice of increasing your bet or not.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's another bronze piece. All right, at that point, one of them folds and says, yeah, they're not known for leaving many people, so I've heard."
Yeah, they're the complete opposite of the singing sword.
A Minotaur increases his bet and snorts, "Stupid elves. Letting people live what they don't need to. You should just take what they want and be done with it. Slaughter the crew if they're not willing to give it up. They're too soft. Someone's gonna take them down. Probably the strike one of these days."
Yeah, nods. It makes sense.
All right, so a few others have either stayed or increased their bet. What is your decision?
I'm staying as well.
Okay. So another one chooses to fold. How are you directing the conversation?
I just mentioned I'm looking to get passage over to New Haunt. I just casually mentioned, any ships that are coming in, maybe getting over there.
So one of the Minotaurs says, "My best bet would probably be to wait until the Bakali come by with another shipment of Kindori oil. They tend to make the rounds between the two as they're doing their hunting.
They the lizard folk.
Kind of gives you a strange look. Aye.
No, I'm not used to the lizard folk.
They're our main suppliers of the whale oil for the lanterns and everything. They visit both places. Your best bet is to wait until one of them comes in.
Thanks, and put in another. When it is my round, I'll put in another bronze.
Okay, so that'll be the last one, and another person folds.
Yeah. Lafdul's either got amazing or terrible cards.
All right, so it's
Or just bad.
you have another opportunity to steer the conversation. You were anything else you want to get them to talk about?
Just trying to think. I just casually mentioned that red Njord fella. He had a bit of string of luck. He's like a new guy out of nowhere. He's from like Brawl Space or somewhere.
One of the humans says, I hadn't heard where he's from. It doesn't surprise me that he's from out that way. But a strange thing is he's been here for a few years, but hadn't heard much about him for space last year. He's back
just got
now.
lucky.
Don't know where he went, or if he went anywhere.
Oh. Huh.
So now it's time to show your cards. Give me a d20.
Yeah. Oh, these under fives.
One of them says, nope, pair ain't gonna do it. And as he's puts down, I got 3 of a kind and a pair. And he takes his winnings as the others grumble.
Let's see how this is. Well, that's me done.
You're tapped out?
No, I got more money. I'm just leaving the table.
Well,
I'm not going to play the entire D&D game on the playing die.
I mean, you're getting some information.
Yeah, I am, but it also
The
it's not inconspicuous after a while.
The Minotaur that grinned when you sat down says, if you ever want another game, you're welcome at our table. And he grins at you again.
When I get more coin.
Give me an intelligence check, please. Yeah, you don't think they were cheating, but you definitely had no idea what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I wasn't sure if they were just fudging the rules or...
It's hard to say if they were fudging the rules, but like basically every round that you played, I was increasing the likelihood that you would on the D20 that you would have a good hand figuring out something, because you'd see what the other people are winning with, and you'd start to put a couple things together and at least have a higher chance. But it does take a lot of bronze pieces.
So, I forgot the last bit of information you wrote. Sorry, I need to write that bit down. What was he saying about Red Njord, about his luck or something? He disappeared.
Well, so the guy was commenting that basically that Red Njord disappeared for a year.
Disappeared off the grid.
They didn't hear of.
No piracy or anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was about a year ago. Everyone was being very general in their terms, so it leaves a big uncertainty in exactly when that was happening. But yeah, so Red Njord has been here for a few years, 3 to 4, and there was a period of time when he was apparently not active for a year, and then He's been active again lately.
Oh. So yeah, I don't know where I want to go now. I'm not sure what information I want to get now. I mean, I've got a lot of information.
Well, when you think you've had enough, you might want to sneak out of town.
There is still the portmaster that you haven't spoken to, and you haven't
Yeah.
spoken to the captain of the galleon. Whether you actually want to do that or not is entirely up to you. I'm just saying that those are two people that you haven't been to. You could always try to circle back around to some of the other people that you have talked to. You haven't really talked to the proprietor of this tavern either, if you wanted to do that. So
I can ask the proprietor if he knows anything about Njord disappearing for a year. What the rumors on that? I mean, he seems quite successful. I mean, did he just suddenly get lucky? Did he always have the octopus? And just it's conversation, I guess.
all right, so you want to go up to the bar?
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so
barkeep.
the portly Minotaur comes over. What can I get you now? So that's before you have a chance to ask anything.
Yeah, something light to eat, I guess. I say light, the smallest thing I can get to eat.
You would guess it would probably be the meat pie.
Oh, I get a meat pie. Just a meat pie will do.
Okay.
Is it a carnivorous squirrel pie thing?
Yeah. Technically omnivorous.
Yeah.
So he brings that to you. No, nothing to drink?
No, I'm gonna eat the pie and head off. You haven't heard what the guys I was playing cards with, they heard that Red Mule disappeared. That seems a bit odd, doesn't it? I mean, that just caught me off guard. What? Was there any speculation about that?
He grunts,
Seems
shrugs, and says, pirates come and go.
They just get unlucky, I guess.
That'll be 4 copper pieces for the pie.
Yeah, I give him full copper.
Who knows? You probably need to speak to some of his boys or something if you wanted to find out what was going on.
Yeah, I'm not likely to find any of them around here. I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he respond to that at all? No.
He just kind of gave a questioning grunt.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't know either. Oh, I would
Give me a wisdom check.
Oh.
Yeah, sometimes people like to have their palms greased.
I put down a couple of iron pieces.
It says, and he kind of slaps his, slowly puts his hand over the pieces, slides them back, and says, "I don't know where you heard that you wouldn't be seeing his boys around here." Pockets.
Well, I mentioned his ringer here, or AuldDragon.
Some of them show up from time to time. So that was 2 iron pieces that you put down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind that's the equivalent of a steel piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's considerably cheaper than 200 steel or
Well,
300.
yes. I just mean that you could have put down a steel piece instead, since you were talking about not having a whole lot of.
No,
Lafdul, the most generous guy in all cred space.
I might not have gotten that information if I didn't was overly generous. So there is a chance that this guy's being. Is he still near me? Have we got any observers?
Oh yeah, he's still close to you. I would assume because of what you did at the previous tavern, you've chosen a spot where there's at least empty space on either side of you.
Yeah, as I put down, I get out a steel piece and I'm like playing with it between my fingers, and I was like, you wouldn't happen to know where to meet one of them. And I put it down on the table.
Are you putting it down and taking your hand away, or are you putting it down with your
Yeah,
hand still?
I'm putting my hand away.
Okay.
And letting him take it if he wants it.
Okay, just more of the lines of like this is on the table for you if you answer it. That's what I was checking. Okay, so
Yeah.
so he slips that coin off and says, "I might."
So could you tell me I get two steel this time? But this time I've got my hand over one of them.
He puts his hand on the one, not taking it yet, and he says, "I may know who you could talk to."
I'm listening.
Kind of taps his finger on the table, on the counter.
Yeah, I'll let him have both.
He takes them both, pockets them. I'd recommend you talk to Xeroxes. Ask him about Sard. And with that, he moves off.
Xerox is about Sard. So Sard's like the go-between, it seems, for like multiple ports.
Maybe. That might be why you need to talk to Xeroxes.
I can't remember if Xerox is the portmaster.
No, that was actually, I'm not sure if you heard his name. Acriotis is the portmaster. Xeroxes is the proprietor of Black Hills Greengrocer.
Oh. Alright, now and then I know this Sard Bloodstone has connections with Red Njord, so we need to find and follow, either capture him and interrogate him, or find out surreptitiously how to contact Red Njord. Alright, wasn't Never meant to be contacting me at some point?
She probably did, and it probably would have been earlier than this, I think. I can't remember exactly what she said, if anyone does remember.
Well, I told...
Because I think it was like 4 hours and 7 hours.
Yeah, if
that's
she hadn't... Was it before Cedar Morning would have got back? Finnel. Would it have been before?
Yes. She would have
Alright,
contacted you
yeah.
before. The first time she would have contacted you before Finnel'ar got back to the vessel.
Alright, then I would have just mentioned that I'm going to be here for a couple of hours and I'll head back. So that's probably very, very soon for me to start heading back. Or they're expecting me to start heading back.
I mean, you've definitely been here for a number of hours at this point.
Yeah.
So it might be right around the time that Leva would be contacting you the second time.
Oh. Is she contacting me now?
Sure.
I was leaving the tavern.
Sure, after you get out of the tavern.
Then I will relay. Heading back. Sard Bloodstone knows where Red Njord can be found.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
All right. So, did you want to stop back and speak to Xeroxes at the Black Hills Greengrocer before you leave? Because that's what the proprietor said. Talk to him about Sard. You don't have to. It's up to you.
I'm just thinking, because that... I mean... No, I'm not going to do it. At least not today. I might have to sneak in again or something. I'm going to try and sneak out of town, or use my granted power of invisibility and sneak out of town once I'm on the edge of town.
That's good.
All right. So, I mean, you could go try to find an alley and become invisible if that's what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you if you find a good place to disappear to come out of town, you can remember where it is and go back there.
Yeah, I
Next time
suppose
you're going-
actually, could I make like a mental map of like good spots, bad spots, don't do this, don't do that instead? Well,
Sure.
like spend like, I don't know, like 15 minutes just observing stuff.
Sure.
How the city functions.
Sure. That's fine. I mean, it's not a big town, so
Yeah, then I would leave.
just a few dozen buildings, kind of thing. A lot of warehouses, which does make even more shadowy areas. So, yeah.
I'm also gonna pickpocket someone while invisible, because I need a new holy symbol. So
that might make you visible.
do I know pickpocketing does that?
I don't know that has really been addressed.
It's not technically a well,
You might find
kind
out.
of is a hostile act. For now, I'll say no, but I may need to think about this and revise that. How's that?
yeah, all right.
All right. So, what's your pickpocket chance?
Pretty okay now. Pickpockets is 80.
We could say that he is doing it from shadows. Pickpocketing some drunk walking by the street.
Wow.
All right. So, as you have slipped your hand into someone's pocket, they suddenly jerk to a stop. Were you choosing a drunk?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And that unfortunately gets you to bump into them. And they whirl around. Who's there? And they're like grasping at you. Give me a dexterity check, please. Okay, with the power of the boots, you easily leap away from this person and move into a shadowy doorway as they're grasping at the air. And they make enough noise drunkenly calling out to,
Can I leave
whoever
the area?
assaulted them, quote unquote.
Well, he's
that
drunk, so
a couple Minotaur guards come over to see what's going on. You're going to try to move away quietly?
well, hang on. How long is this taking me? Because obviously I leaped away, because I'd be making my way almost immediately.
Well, I assumed that your first instinct would be to get into a position where he's not likely to grab you if he starts moving around.
Yeah, I leap away, then I wait a moment.
So
well, not wait a moment.
right.
It's
So
like
you like ducked
stood
into
still.
You like I said you would probably would have ducked into a doorway.
How far away am I if that's into a doorway? Because
10, 15 feet. No more.
Because I've got no idea. Yeah, no, I am going to start walking away.
All right.
Because I'm going to do it before
Move silently.
dinosaurs get here.
Move silently.
Yeah. 65, I think.
All right. So you, as quietly as you can, you start padding away from.
Did I actually steal anything?
Sight. No, you did not.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Before you could get your hands on anything.
Bad roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happens.
It's actually a really bad roll.
What do you roll? Like a 99?
95.
Oh, well, that's an automatic failure, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. No, I think 96 is an automatic failure.
Yeah.
But I think that was high enough for them to notice you, I think. So you do quickly move to a different part of town. Do you want to try it again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What type of person are you targeting?
Another drunk.
Okay. This time, You spot someone kind of take a deep breath, calm yourself a little bit beforehand because the adrenaline's high after that last attempt. And you're able to easily slip your hand into someone's pocket and pull out. What do you pull out?
Like a necklace or something, I guess.
They'd probably be wearing a necklace, not keeping a necklace in a pouch.
A bracelet.
They probably would not be keeping
quill?
jewelry in a pouch. And keep in mind that these are mostly sailors, so they probably wouldn't have a quill.
A lucky charm, like a die.
Okay. Yeah, you pull out a lucky charm. It's a cracked bone die, so obviously it would not work anymore. But you guess that the person keeps it because they think it's lucky.
Should have pulled out a belaying pin.
They're after me lucky charms.
And next time you come to town, you hear that the guy in his drunken state tripped, fell down, broke his neck, all because you stole his lucky charm, and he wasn't lucky
That's all right.
anymore.
It's not going to happen to. It's not going to happen to Lafdul, so he's not going to get waylaid on his journey back.
All right, so you're making your way back to
The group.
the ship. Okay, let's see.
Does my invisibility help me?
I mean, you'll be invisible, so I
I
assume...
cast Pass Without Trace,
Okay.
so I don't have scent as well.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, on your way back, you do hear a sucking, slurping sound from the rocks, and you see some sort of viscous mass of dark, semi-liquid, semi-solid material eating the moss. But because you are scentless and you are invisible, you are able to avoid it without incident.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of your trip is uneventful.
It only lasts like an hour. It's 10 minutes, so 70 minutes.
Okay, well, that was enough to get you past this, and you didn't encounter anything on the rest of it.
Okie dokie.
All right, so you get back to camp. Go ahead and move your token back with the rest of the group.
Do I see a very calm and relaxed Solas?
Not until you enter the hut.
I'm gonna try and sneak in and scare him. Just a boo, like scare him, because I don't know. He just seems so asking for it for some reason. I don't know why.
We'd probably be looking out for Lafdul when he's coming back.
All right, so you're moving silently.
Yeah. Beowulf might hear me, smell me.
Maybe not.
And give me, let's see, Braxon and Finn, give me dexterity checks from each of you. And Lafdul, give me a dexterity check.
I think someone's getting a punch in the face.
Perhaps.
Oh.
One. Well, I'm not dodging that one.
All right, so Lafdul, you come up to the black sphere of the Leoman's tiny hut, and you can't see inside. There's a black sphere. You see, as you've come in, you've seen Beowulf and Ockar out, kind of patrolling around. And knowing that Solas is going to be probably in roughly the middle, you try to like leap in and surprise him and go, "Boo, Solas!" or something like that. You know, whatever you would choose to do.
It was kind of like go in, poke my head in through it, then go boo.
Okay. All right. So that's
I guess
what you'd poke your head in it. I was just making some assumptions.
Yeah.
Okay. You poke your head in, and unfortunately,
Because Braxon's right in front of me.
you poke your head in just as Braxon was getting up to leave through that specific place, and bam, head versus nose.
Oh, there's definitely an elven curse then.
And you go, oh,
That,
jeez, as you clutch at your nose.
That lucky charm is working perfectly.
Is he invisible?
Yeah, he is
Is
invisible.
he invisible? Yeah, I think.
I'd spoken out loud when I cast it. It's like, it's me.
I think Braxon will be me, yeah, me, like that, so, like reaching for a weapon and going, Lafdul, was that you?
Yeah, I think I found you. I couldn't see through the barrier.
What are you doing sneaking up on us? I could have killed you.
Solas'
Well, that's not very nice.
Solas' reaction to all of this is first he's starting to get ready, but once he recognizes what happened, he gives out a hearty chuckle that clearly everyone must have pranked Lafdul.
Well, I'm still alive. That's always a good thing. At least I think so.
Well, glad you came back.
So yeah.
Sit down. Take the weight off your feet. Take my boots off.
You can have your boots back.
Did you find out anything interesting?
So that there's pirates that come into port there about like once a week. There's this Sired Bloodstone that I originally knew about on Reox. He seems to have contact with Red Njord.
Sword,
I've not
Bloodstone.
Yeah. Is it Sard or Sand? I can't remember.
Sard.
No, that's the name. That's the name.
Do you plan to make contact with this Bloodstone?
Well, I haven't discussed how we plan on going about it. If I can pursue that. That is an option.
We'll have to mention about the
I mention everything. Yeah.
Barkeep mentioned to speak.
Well, if you let him talk, he might mention lots of things.
I might forget. So yeah, I said that this reclaimed, reused, obviously selling stolen stuff that they've pirated is the local dealer in the more hush-hush matters, I suppose. I think Red Njord's kind of like ousted from, or not ousted, but he's kind of like, I don't think they like him.
You don't think they like him?
Yeah, I think that's like the gut feeling I'm going with. Not many people like him.
Do you think he went against their pirate code or something? I say distastefully.
It's possible.
Has he been raiding their ships too?
I couldn't find out too much about Red Njord other than obviously the side Bloodstone being our best lead at this point. There is a couple of pirate ships. One of them, I believe, is a smuggler that I spoke to their captain.
Mm-hmm.
He runs a damselfly. I'm just trying to think, where the hell did I put my notes? I know I put them somewhere.
Damselfly was a grey dancer.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's literally right from there. So, grey dancer. And the other ship is the galleon. I didn't want to interact with the galleon. There's too many minotaurs. Kind of scare me.
Blood Seas Bane is what you said.
That seemed like a proper pirate ship. I mean, they were interested in hiring on people that know information, and I could pose as an agent and potentially infiltrate their ship, but it seems a bit,
Well, I think a good idea might be to talk with that merchant
shopkeep.
that shopkeep that was mentioned to you.
Yeah.
Is it worth us going to the other port on Nuitari? Do you think we might get some information there?
Yeah, we need to make our way to the other port at some point.
Since that shopkeep, since that was clear hint clear clue to talk to him.
That Sard fellow knows a lot of information. He's basically like the local, knows everything kind of guy.
So is Sard in this town?
No, he's traveling. He makes visits to these ports. I'm guessing he runs between all the smuggling ports.
But that shopkeeper should know when or where to contact.
So
Or
what
expect
is?
them.
Does Sard own his own ship, or does he?
He's on a eel ship, but I can't remember the name. I don't think I got the name. I know he's got
Okay.
an eel ship, though. There was an element of I didn't want to push my luck, maybe.
Yeah. Out of character, you was looking for something on Reals, but I don't know if you told us.
Oh no, I mentioned that I'm looking for a person coming in on an eel ship by the name of. I think I did mention his name, but obviously I said it's something I want to deal with personally.
Yeah. No, because I know sometimes. I'm saying it's out of character. I know sometimes there's stuff you say you don't want to tell the rest of us. So I can't remember if that was stuff that you said you didn't want to tell us.
I don't mind telling stuff in this sphere because, other than the Thieves Guild, I won't mention the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
That's in here, but I will
No,
mention
I'm not
that.
telling you to tell us. I'm just saying I can't remember if that's stuff that you did tell us.
Because I don't operate in Kryn space, I don't care so much about what I say and what I don't say. But there's kind of like I won't do something that'll clearly jeopardize a Thieves Guild, so to speak, because I'm still a thief. They still might be useful to me.
Yeah.
But I will say about the Sard guy that, yeah, there's just a guy that knows his stuff. So.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm not asking you to explain how your character works. I'm just saying that I'm just a bit foggy on that detail.
Yeah, he's just saying that out of character, he's not sure if he knows of a thing in character or just out of character that you mentioned. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
I think I would have mentioned that there's this Sard guy.
Okay. So we got vague details on Sard.
We either need to contact him or apprehend him.
Do we have any sort of itinerary for Sard moving around?
He's a smuggler.
Right.
Best bet.
So
my best bet, he's a smuggler.
He just turns up at places whenever.
He probably sells stuff at Red Njord. Or Red Njord sells it to him, then he sells it on to the ports.
I will say that if there was an itinerary to get, you would have gotten it from that Xeroxes guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that there is an itinerary to get. I'm just saying that that's a guy who would probably know if there is one.
Yeah. So what's your gut feeling on this Sard? Do you think
he knows a lot of information, but I have to make it worth his while?
Do you think they are buddies with Red Njord and they wouldn't sell Red Njord out?
I don't think they would.
They earn money, or what I'm getting at is, are we going to have to find a way to trick Sard into giving away the location of Red Njord?
In all honesty, I think it's better if we apprehend him coincidentally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's an idea as well. We've got this gadget for tracking people.
Oh, yeah. Forgot
if
about
we were hypothetically able to find out that Sard was off to have a meeting with Red Njord, perhaps we could get you to steal something from Sard.
Lafdul looks so shocked at that motion.
Or someone invisible. You're better at being sneaky, that we can put in our locating device.
Well, you say that, I bumped right into you.
Sorry?
You say that, but I bumped right into you.
Yeah. I don't know, like a sock or something.
I would definitely appreciate someone accompanying me next time, as
Okay.
Good as it is me going inland, sometimes I run out of ideas.
Well, definitely. You're in charge of these things. You're in charge of who goes with you. Who do you think would be
It's who wants to go, rather.
Yeah, there's an element of that as well. I think several of us would be up for it. I mean,
I did learn that the lizard folk act as the lizard folk that we recently bumped into. They ferry people between new haunts and
Black Hills.
Black Hills.
So just as a quick note, it's not so much that you learn that they do that; it's that you learn that they go between the two places. They visit both
They
places.
can offer that service.
If there's anyone that they'd be the best to ask. You don't know for sure whether they do it or not.
Yeah.
It's just that since they're the one, since they do sell Kindori whale oil to both places, the easiest people to ask are them because they visit both places.
We could, if you wanted to go into town openly, we could say we're Kindori whale oil merchants. I'm not saying we should. I'm not saying we should. I'm saying if it gets to the stage where you want to have lots of us going to town.
Well, no, just one person.
Okay. Right. So, what's the sort of makeup of the town?
It's a smattering of cuts. They've got a dock. They've got a lot of minotaurs. A lot of guards.
Minotaurs. Shame none of us can look like minotaurs.
I could, but I'd be a very short one.
If someone were to go into the town with you and you wanted to enter the town without being spotted, I think Finnel'ar might have the best chance doing that.
That's a possibility.
And I think me and Ockar would most likely have a hardest time blending in there.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we've come down wearing armor and stuff, so I suppose we could go back to our ship and get disguises if you remember what sort of things people were wearing.
Yeah, I could come
so
up
that we
with
look more like sailors. But if there's people that can cast invisibility spells, presumably, can you cancel this invisibility spells?
Yeah, you can do that well.
So presumably, if you went in with someone and they were quiet, you could go to a place. Have you got a place that people could go to in town and then become visible? Pretend they were always in there?
Yeah, and there are occasionally quiet streets so you can just pop out, so to speak, and just walk into the crowd or walk into people's.
So Finn might be a good person to go with you, but it could potentially be anyone. You could go in with a number of different people on different occasions.
Yeah.
Right, so...
There's a lot of information to be had there.
Yeah.
One option we could do is, since it's if we wanted to go in bigger group there, is like I earlier suggested that we could go with our with the hilt in there and basically pose as not so law-abiding merchants.
Yeah.
And we could even sell some of our cargo there, like
we do have
some of our alcohol.
Well, we specifically bought that that oil. We'd be wanting to shift that, wouldn't we?
Oh, I suppose I could ask the quartermaster if it's all right, so to speak.
And
in that,
yeah,
I am a conveyor of. Well, I'm just a middleman for a ship, and they want to know if it's okay to pull in. They've got stuff to sell. Now, obviously,
That way we could get easily into the port without having to sneak in there with more than one person.
Wait a second.
That's true.
Hold on a second. What was this? Go into the port to find out if you can go into port?
yeah, Lafdul sneaks in again as usual. Once he's in town, he can just ask the quartermaster if, at the very first thing, get a gut feeling for whether or not he would just straight out just rob us if we landed.
Okay.
Or
First of all, how would you have gotten down to ask if a ship could land?
Yeah.
It's more a case of I know these people. They want to know if they can sell their stuff here.
Yeah,
Are you going to shoot them down straight up? They obviously can say no, but
I will say this as a thief and having had contact with other thieves guilds and just having heard some stuff about
I could.
Pirates and smugglers and stuff like that. Your guess would be that if you go in with a ship that is not extremely powerful, that is not a warship, they may be suspicious. They may ask to search your ship or something like that. But they will probably let you dock and then make a determination based on the ship's crew makeup.
Yeah.
If you were clearly flying the flag of a force like the Elven Imperial Navy, they would probably shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Because they would assume that you're there to blockade or harass or something like that. But keep in mind, it is ultimately this is a trading port.
It survives off trading.
Right. It is a port that survives off of illicit trade, but it is a trading port.
So what we would be doing if we went in, we would definitely want to offload that oil because we don't want to sell that anywhere else. And the alcohol that we bought, if you was going to sell some of that, you would say it fell off the back of a lorry sort of thing.
So there's nothing
So
illicit
they don't
about
really care
there's
where
nothing
it comes
illicit
from.
about your Kindori oil.
Yeah.
You could sell that anywhere as far as you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't sell it here. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
like you
Also-
said you
We
don't want to
we
sell
know
it
they
anywhere
want
else. You said that you don't want to sell it anywhere else, but you don't know that.
Well, it was not so much that it's we know they want that.
Fair
And
enough.
that's why
Fair
we're
enough.
here.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Also, not just sell things. We might also pose as we are interested in looking to buy something.
Yeah.
So we necessarily don't have to sell anything illicit if we are there to buy something possibly illicit.
Well, you know the narrative we were trying to present before, that we were this trading ship trying to get stuff. We could say we're trading stuff. We heard that Hidako had lost the ship, and we're trading stuff with them. We're carrying cargo for them, but we're trying to find some more profitable ways to make money. And we could see if there's anything stolen that we can buy that will make money out of the sphere.
They didn't seem too happy about the singing sword, but that just might be a culture difference.
Yeah.
That was a sailor that you spoke to, or a couple sailors that you spoke to. Be careful about extrapolating out the opinion of a couple to the opinion of the whole town.
The couple that I spoke to. I mean, they were just crewmen, the higher-ups might appreciate the more precautious nature.
Well, what I would say is this Sard Bloodstone seems to be our best shot at finding Red Njord. So you was talking about going back with someone. Will going back with someone help you find Tsar Bloodstone?
No, it's to bounce ideas off of.
Did you mention that Tsar as well?
Yeah. Well, I will
'Cause
mention.
you sort of got interrupted.
That Tsar fellow. He seems to appear on the up and up, but
Yeah.
a couple of miners have suspected that he's actually a pirate, or up to no good. Maybe he acts like an informant. Who knows? I don't know enough about him, but there's more to him than meets the eye.
Maybe he hires on with ships and then brings a device with him that allow the pirates to locate the ship he's on. If you say Red Njord attacked the ship he was on, I mean, it's hard to
Ockar
know.
that said that.
Yeah, it's hard to know how accurate this, because you hear rumors sometimes that aren't true. But if Tsar was indeed on a ship that Red Njord attacked and lived to tell the tale, then perhaps the idea is that he gets a job on a trading ship, and then the trading ship gets attacked, and he goes off with Red Njord and gets another job on a trading ship. And maybe Tsar is the key. That if we can get Tsar to work on our ship and hire on a few Minotaurs, including Tsar, maybe that will make Red Njord turn up.
We have to remember the symbol Levacast. It was meant to trigger on Minotaurs.
Yeah, but we can adjust that if we need to.
Can never dispel that.
Well, we don't need to adjust it now, but if we found out, if we were fairly confident that putting Tsar on our ship would attract Red Njord, because Red Njord is tracking Tsar, then we would make whatever arrangements we need to do that.
So Dispel Magic will take care of any magic that you have cast, including from a scroll. So it's automatic. With a Dispel Magic, with a Dispel Magic, you can always get rid of your own magic unless the spell specifically says you can't.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
We don't need to do that yet anyway, because I might be barking up the wrong tree. It might be that...
we might...
You were the dog.
We might need to do that if we are going to... Since... Didn't she cast it on Hilt?
Well, it doesn't matter.
And if we were to go to the port and with it...
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because until
Trojan horse.
Until we're confident that that's a plan, we don't need to get rid of the spells. The other thing that's a possibility is this Tsar Bloodstone. So, if we can find Tsar Bloodstone, the question is, how are we going to get the information out of Tsar Bloodstone? So are we going to get the information out of Tsar Bloodstone willingly, or do we have to trick Tsar Bloodstone into leading us to Red Njord somehow?
To a certain extent, that might depend on whether you think that he is just a merchant contact that he has, or whether he's actually like a friend or an ally kind of thing. Someone who is specifically working with him, as opposed to just the guy who happens to be the one that they go to.
Well, I will say, I was stopped by a couple of Minotaur guards, and I had to impromptu name Sard as the guy who drops me off, and they seemed a bit surprised at how he takes passengers or other people. So that's that doesn't seem to be a thing he does. He keeps to his own crew. Which makes sense in his line of work, but...
Well, when you go back, you can either be the same person or a different person. If you
Either way, you're gonna need to meet with that Bloodstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we don't know the Bloodstone is here.
Well,
Well-
at least you should meet the shopkeep.
Yeah. Seems like I'm gonna have to inquire a few things.
Well, I think a number of us could go, and it's going to be partially down to who's going to be the most useful. I certainly think. You're onto something about the having a ranger with you, because getting over the train would be easier. But could be any of us. I mean, even Ockar could go. Does Ockar look much like Red Njord and the other people?
It would be pretty hard, I'd say, for me and Ockar to blend in.
Yeah. Especially depending on how open they are with their whole piracy.
They're a regular town, but they're not hiding it.
So one thing that I will say about Ockar's aura of protection is that while it's not obvious what the cause is, people who are evil, people who would be affected by that, i.e., they would suffer a penalty to attack, they feel uncomfortable around.
Right, got you.
So
fair enough. Is that something that Ockar can turn off?
No.
No, it's inherent to his faith.
Yeah.
Okay.
So think of it as like the when the hair on the back of your neck stands up, or just you feel like a dirty
evil
being near
people are
someone.
uncomfortable around me.
Yeah, that's kind of how they feel.
Maybe next time we have this sort of issue, we need to just buy one of those helm of opposite alignment things. No, I'm only joking. Braxon wouldn't know about them.
That might make me lose my Paladin hood entirely.
Oh yeah, it would.
But it was a joke.
Yeah, if I went from lawful good to chaotic evil with just one helm.
Yeah, if I lose any alignment, I no longer be a mischief maker.
Right. Well, I think Braxon would be willing to go with you if Braxon would be useful, and I think Solas could be useful in certain circumstances, and Finn could be useful, and Lever could be.
I feel like I would have a hard time in fitting in there.
Well, you just go on about your brewing and.
Well, Braxon.
Yeah, but with the whole open with piracy, and I might look them with quite judgmental eyes.
You look at all of us with judgmental eyes all the time. You know, you
Not
see the way
Ockar seems to be
you
fine.
saw the way I put that book on that shelf. You gave me such an evil look.
Because you don't respect your books.
Yes.
All right.
Just
Braxon
had a
says-
different tag.
So the question is, how do you want to get back to the town? Do you want to go back overland, or do you want to go back up to get your dolphin shuttle and go land? Act like merchants, selling some stuff, buying some stuff?
Because if we act like merchants and stuff, they're gonna be like, how did you know of our existence?
Well, you can always tell that you got the information by doing business with the people you did on reorgs.
Well, I think the way that we get the location thing would be Sard Bloodstone told you.
I think best option
He's
would
probably
be
a well-known person by sounds of it.
I think best option would be saying that he got the information either by doing business with the merchant he was waiting in reorgs, or the contact he visited on his own.
Well, hang on. I'm thinking about this. Getting the whole ship in is escalating it more than what you originally said, Lafdul, which was to go back with one person. Okay, so you can go back with one person, and we can still take the ship in after that. Whereas if you go in with the whole ship, can you go back with one person after that? So the question is what sort of things is it worth you going back into town to do? So there was this Minotaur ship. What else is there where you can get more information?
Just generally just asking essentially random people or people with import.
Did you mention the Harbour Master?
No, I have not spoken to the Harbour Master. He seems like he's a no-nonsense guy, as I've been told.
Right.
It's kind of like, as long as you're straight to the point, you state your intentions, you'll be paid a certain amount. You'll be expected to follow the rules, but he should abide by the terms he himself states.
Okay, so let's put it this way, right? Are you going to be more likely to get information from the Minotaur ship by having one or two people pretending they want to sign on as crew, or that they want to charter something or something like that, or have you had your persona before of a guy trading at Riox? We could go do that again, or do something slightly different, and see if they got stuff to sell. What do you think would get us information? Bearing in mind that you can also go to the Minotaur ship twice. You can go in trying to hire on, and then you can go back with us in the whole ship as people that are fencing stolen goods that want to trade goods with them. What do you think?
Probably, because I don't know how the.
I think you got two chances.
Yeah, it puts more strain on members of our party that have more strictures with what they can and can't do. I have a lot of leeway.
Yeah. The other thing is, can we come up with a reasonable explanation for having a paladin on board the ship if we go down?
You don't tell them we got a paladin.
You don't tell them you have a paladin.
But if they want to cut, I know. If they want to come on and search, we've got some wards that would be good. Not good if Minotaurs want to come on and search, because
we would
they're
dispel
defensive.
that.
Well, would we want to dispel that?
Well, you would have to tell them that you would have to use non-Minotaur crew, and the vast majority of all their guards are all Minotaur. They would say they would just say you can't go on the. They would say you can't go on the dock because they can't search ship.
So going in with the ship sounds like a bad idea.
No, with that walled up.
Yeah. And if we're going to have a paladin on board, then we have to make it look like he's a captive or something.
It sounds silly, Ockar, but could you pretend to be someone evil? You don't actually have to act evil. It's just your appearance when someone looks at you. Obviously, Does Ockar know about Zora? He makes people feel uncomfortable, per se.
Yeah.
Then could he play it off as a different kind of aura? Like he's just like this. It's like this scary guy. You just don't go near him because he looks like some kind of, I don't know, evil, muscly, I don't know, undead person. I'm not saying undead, but something that would project an aura.
That sort of subterfuge is generally frowned upon by paladins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something to cover up.
Right.
The aura.
So paladins, when it comes to subterfuge and stuff like that, the preferred method of operating for paladins is to withhold elements as opposed to lie about things. So he could dress up as a. Go ahead.
I have to tell some version of the truth, but I can't.
It's more of a case of,
or you could just
tell the Minotaurs.
You could be completely quiet. You could say nothing at all.
We just tell the Minotaurs, just say, he's a no-talk guy. You'll not understand when you get close to him.
No, here's an idea. We make it look like Ockar's been beaten up, and we make it look like we have a life jammer. And we make us look like we're a bunch of scumbuckets.
Any spelljamming coach would know what helm we got, surely, because they would have to check our helm.
How are they going to know?
Wizards?
Isn't that obvious?
Doesn't life cameras look different?
Yeah, life cameras look different.
That's what I'm saying.
Some buckles to restrain someone.
Yeah, but what we can make something look like a helm without it being a helm.
What, do we just, like, hide our normal helm or something?
We've got spells to make things invisible. Lever's got a illusionary, her illusions for hiding things. I'm just suggesting it as a possibility.
They seem more like the practical than the magical kind of people.
Yeah.
The militaristic kind of like militia.
So, well, all I'm doing is talking about a narrative. If we went in and we make ourselves look like we're a bunch of evil people, and we've got a paladin on a life jammer, which explains why there's a paladin on board, and we have a couple of other people who look like they've also been on the life jammer, which could be me, could be other people. So we make it look like this is how we get around. We've got a life jammer, and we put people on the life jammer, and it eats them. And nobody's. If we put chains on Ockar and chain him to the thing, not real chains, have it set up so that he can get loose if things go wrong, and have his equipment hidden nearby. But if we were to try to camouflage our helm room on there as it having a life jammer, and we're selling dodgy stuff, that could fit in with a narrative as to why we're going to this illicit port. Because we go to the nice ports, and they don't want to have people going with life jammers there. So we could turn a disadvantage of having a paladin into a narrative that makes it completely sensible that we have a paladin. He's the company of the chalice or something like that, and we caught him. Yeah.
Would they really?
You might buy it.
Evil people want to kill people like the company of the chalice and the pragmatic order thought. They got a price on people's heads.
That brings up a question. Would they even know what a paladin is around here?
Yeah, they got crim paladins, don't they?
Well, it doesn't matter. We don't say.
I thought Kryn didn't have paladins. They had like the Knights of something.
You have Knights and paladins.
I mean, ultimately, like you don't really know the details on that. You know that there's a special knightly order called the Knights of Solomonia. Ockar, you would probably, in character, assume they're paladins because you've heard they're knights, they're upstanding, they're do-gooders, striving for justice, that kind of thing. You'd probably just assume that they're paladins.
Okay. Well, this isn't a terrible plan. I'm just incredibly uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
What if he pretended he was the Knight of Solomonia instead?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is if we have a narrative, if we eventually decide to go into one of these ports with everyone, if we have a narrative that the reason why we have this good person on board,
it doesn't
have him on the life jammer.
It doesn't necessarily need to be life jammer. We could also just play it off as he's captured for ransom.
So again, let me make something else clear. Keep in mind, number one, paladins are rare. Yeah. There's a very good chance that your average person anywhere in the multiverse has never actually encountered a paladin. 2, if they're evil, they're just uncomfortable around the person until combat actually starts, and then they start taking actual in-game penalties.
Right.
So it's not a case. It's not a case that someone walks up to Ockar and he's dressed in just normal everyday clothing, no armor, no weapons, and they're like, "Paladin!" It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's in later editions where paladins are a dime a dozen.
So it's more of a case that there would just be something that an evil person near him would be like, I don't like this guy. I don't trust him. I dislike him. If he does something to me and I'm inclined to, beat up people who I don't like who say the wrong thing to me, then that's how I will treat them, kind of thing. But it's not the case of
Right.
just walking up to them and be like, oh, I am within their area of their radius. I know that they're a paladin. No, it doesn't work that way. They just
Yeah.
are uncomfortable with them
Good.
and they don't like them.
It could work like this. Lafdul, you have do you have the disguise proficiency?
Yeah.
You could you could paint some scars on my face, make me look all rough and tumble, so that when they see me, they just think that I'm just some scary tough guy.
Sure. And that's generally the guys I go with as well when I'm in town.
Yeah.
A few scars.
I just look like
Yeah.
somebody that they don't want to mess with. Like, I've been in several fights, and I'll just stay quiet.
Mm-hmm. That could work.
That seems a bit more simple than the Lifejammer plan.
Yep, that does seem more simple. And you could stay on the ship if necessary.
Yeah.
And you could just growl at people that want to come on the ship.
Arr.
Are you allowed to intimidate people with force?
Yes.
No, I mean like guards if they're questioning you.
Depends on if
all
they're.
them I...
So it would depend on whether they are acting within an upright
Lawful
justice.
duty.
Well, not lawful duty, but specifically if they have a just reason for interacting with you.
Yeah.
And generally, most of these places, if they just stop you and be like, who are you? What are you doing here? What is your reason for being here? Most places would have the right to do that, and you wouldn't consider that unjust. It would be more like you would not have to respect them if they're like, they clearly plant a blade on you that was just pulled out of the body of a murderer, and they're clearly framing you for the murder, saying, I need to take someone in. You're the guy who's nearby. I'm deciding that you're going to be the one who's
I feel
guilty.
like I could probably get away with it here since this is a pirate port and not something that has a bit more official kind of thing behind it.
Well,
Maybe.
so again,
It's more of a smuggler's port, isn't it?
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
again, like you would be expected to uphold even de facto law as opposed to de jure law, where they are
Like human rights or whatever.
Well, no. So if these guys are the law, even if they don't have a written down mandate, and it's more de facto, they are the law because they are the powerful people who, because of their power, they have set themselves up as the ones who decide who is and who is not breaking the laws around here. You would be expected to observe them unless you find them unjust.
And I just keep an eye on them, and if I detect like evil intent or something, I know, okay, these are assholes, or something like that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, again, like lawful good is you have an internal moral code that you stick to, and you expect other people to abide by. You do not have to obey unjust laws. You do have to obey just laws, even if you don't always agree with how they're handled.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But so long as the people are not actively doing an injustice to you or other people, then you are expected to obey the people in power, kind of thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be better going with Lafdul's suggestion of 2 people going in for now.
Yeah.
And then we have this as a backup option we've also got the option of exploring the other port.
Sounds good.
All right. So is there a plan that you guys want to get ready to set in motion for next session?
Well, if we're going with 2 people, it's who's going to go with Lafdul. And Solas thinks it looks like Ockar's a bad person to pick, unfortunately.
And himself.
Sorry?
I think
And-
the easiest one to get in there and most likely be able to somewhat blend in there is Finnel.
Did I see any animals
Yeah.
in there, Old?
Not really. You weren't
Yeah,
paying
I'd
a
say
whole lot of
Finnan.
attention. You like, if you think back of it, you probably would have seen some rats.
No dogs or parrots or
No.
whatever they could get their hands on, they were eating. Was that the gut feeling?
No.
No?
No, you don't think that. You just don't think that. Given the type of town it is, the animals in the town would be the type of thing that would come in on a ship. So you're looking at rats, number one, for sure. And if you think back, you would say, oh, yeah, I definitely saw some rats.
Maybe a cat or two.
There might have been a cat or two, but if you think back, you're like, might have seen something, but it could have been something else. You did not go near the Lord's manor, or whatever, however it would be termed. The guy who runs the place. You didn't go near there. If anyone is going to have dogs, horses, that sort of thing, it'd be him.
Also, didn't Old say that it was nighttime, so most people would be sleeping with, and their pets would be with them.
Well, not exactly, because it's a multi-day night cycle on New Atari. It was when I was talking about it being nighttime, it was more in the realm of how it looks outside. But again, looking back on it, Lafdul, you'd say that you probably got in there at the for the cycle of the town, late afternoon, early evening.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right now, it's probably sleeping time,
yeah.
which coincides with ours, so we're on the same morning, day, night.
Could you tell how they're keeping their day-night cycle?
I didn't specifically look for any timepiece. Did I say anything
Could-
on that?
No.
We're going around Kryn, aren't we? I think it's something like 2 days.
This moon takes 8 days to orbit.
8 days, sorry.
Yeah.
So they've got a physical day of 4 days and a physical night of 4 nights.
That's what it
Ish.
seems like.
So they're doing a day-night cycle in the sun and a day-night cycle in the dark. Are we in the night time at the moment?
Still.
Yes, this is the dark side of the moon. Yes.
So
Yeah.
we could spend approximately 4 days on this side, although we've lost some of it already, and then
it
we
was
could go
and it
to
was
the
already
other
in
port.
that. It was already in that point when you
Right.
got here.
It's
So
probably going to turn tomorrow, if not the day after.
Do we think the other port's on the other side of the moon?
yeah, it's about equal. It's about the opposite side.
So we could go here in the dark time, which would increase your ability to sneak in and out of town, and then we go to the other side in their night time and do the same thing if we wanted to.
Yeah, if we got more time to
And-
do here.
Double our chances of picking up information or getting caught.
Well,
it
again,
looks
so
like
even if it's Lafdul and one other person going around, you could still bring the whole ship in. Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have to. I'm just trying to figure out what you're looking at here. So you're thinking of Lafdul and one other person going back now? I mean,
Oh,
get rest, get some recuperation and everything like that. change spells up for those who want to, but then 2 people go back.
I think it depends on the narrative that we're going to be going with, and that's going to in part be from what Lafdul
Then
told
do
us.
you want a week to think about it?
I think we might do, but let's have a quick question. Lafdul, do you see any usefulness in going with the narrative to that ship that you want to hire on a ship?
That was just a cover story. I mean, I could.
I know that was a cover story, but do you think that will go down?
I would recommend against that, in part because
It would separate me.
well, if you go saying, hey, I'd like to hire on as crew, and they're like, sure, welcome aboard, we'll pay you this amount, and it's a reasonable amount, then you got to come up with a reason why, oh, no, actually, I can't do that, and that's,
Yeah.
So,
okay.
like,
And,
you need to, like, if you're going to a place with a question that is the cover story, the question is the cover story, you have to know the answer beforehand.
Yeah. Okay, well then we're probably better off going there, trading stuff, which means taking the big ship in, or taking the little ship in.
But what if you only know the answer and you don't know the question?
So
The answer is 42.
did you pick up any intel on what the Minotaur ship does?
Gut feeling. It's a pirate ship. It just plunders people.
I will
think I
say that
was-
you would draw a slightly more nuanced conclusion, probably a little bit closer to a privateer, in that they
Right.
do carry cargo, but if the opportunity presents itself to attack another vessel and take their cargo, take some plunder, they will do so.
Right. So we've got stuff to trade. Yeah. We got stuff to trade to work as our cover story. So
and we can also, as a cover story, use that we are looking to buy something.
yeah, we were going around looking to buy something. So as a cover story, you could go with someone to ask for what they've got they're willing to sell.
All right. Well, it sounds like you guys don't really know exactly how you want to approach it. So let's give it a
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do want you guys to think about it so that when we start next session, we don't have 20, 30 minutes of, all right, well, how do we do this?
What are we going to do?
Right.
We can discuss it
'Cause
after the game.
That's the point of having a week.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and call it a session here.
Mhm.
And that is going to be 600 experience points for Lafdul.
And 0 for everyone else.
And 100 for everyone else.
100.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's always
Do I get-
experience for showing up and being here and listening, and even if you don't, your character doesn't end up doing much.
Do I
Or
get
anything.
any for my thieves? Because my thief used a lot of skills.
Right. Sorry. So that's 400 and then 200 for your thief.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, have I leveled up with that 100?
I think not.
No, just didn't do it.
Maybe
I'm
if
just
we were
sure-
back at level 1, you might have.
So again, what I would recommend you guys keep in mind is that simpler is better.
Yep.
And don't overcomplicate things. Be flexible, because again, one of the things about being complex in your plans is that it becomes less flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And always keep in mind what your specific goals are. Like if your
Yeah.
goal is to go back in and find out more about Sard Bloodstone, that's your goal. And then you
Yeah.
need to think about, what helps you get to that goal. Because sometimes it seems like you guys focus so much on how you do a thing that you forget why you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think our goal is going to be to find and talk with Bloodstone, so it would probably be best to ask around about Bloodstone and figure out where he tends to be and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I mean, it's something to just keep in mind as you're discussing things after the session. Sard Bloodstone, at least so far as Lafdul was aware, was not in the port. He saw no eel ship, so unless they had some kind of secret place to dock up, or they were doing like what you were doing, he wasn't in port at that time. Maybe he'll show up in the meantime. Maybe he won't. Maybe you'll find out where when he's coming in. But there's also other things to, other ultimate goals that you have as well. So just keep those in mind, because that's the thing. Again, it just seems like sometimes you guys get so deep into making a plan that you forget about why you're making the plan in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing that we can get there is that the bartender specifically mentioned to ask that shopkeep, and that shopkeep knows that Njord's friends come around aoccasionally.
We make
Well-
the Rube Goldberg machine and then forget why we did it.
No, specifically the proprietor of the tavern said when Lafdul asked about Red Njord's guys, he said talk to the shopkeeper about Sard. So
Yeah.
the shopkeeper may not know anything about the other guys, but
We should just go ask about him about Sard
So.
Bloodstone.
anyway,
Well, yeah.
thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back next week and see how the party handles it.
I say thanks for tolerating Paul afterward his shenanigans.
Indeed.
This has been the
Lafdul
episode
failed
of
to steal a holy symbol, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
he
I
did
did
get
about-
one. He did
Yeah.
get one.
this has been the adventures of indecisive Lafdul.
Should be.
Lafdul Moonglade, the bumbling thief.
I don't know about quite that much. But thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week. See you then.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.